Hey, can you hear me? All right. Today is another episode of uh, me writing my newest episode, and it's been a while. I think I've been still. I was mainly busy editing all the one first piece of episode, and yeah, here we are. So let's not waste any more time. So I'm just gonna copy and paste. From last time, I started to write the scene one of newest episode, and then I just I thought the pseudo write is a very did a really good job writing a story, but it was for me it was a bit too long, so I just squash them or rewriting it to make it shorter, more punchier, and then that's what I'm gonna do today too. So, yeah, let's check it out. Uh, I just curious if I don't think it's gonna happen sooner or later, but
The guard's name was Harris. He liked to say things twice.
oh no, that's not Adam. Adam is Trevor, I think. Trevor, yeah. I was just trying to check if there's going to be like a sound. If someone, anyone, you know, leave a comment here because I would like to, chat. So maybe if I could. Oh yeah, there we go. I think. Oh, no, I guess I can't. Okay, I think I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's do this.
The guard's name was Harris. He liked to say things twice. Back to it, Harris said, one eye on the men and one on his wristwatch. Don't rest your bones till they're 6 feet under. The way he saw it, lazy men didn't earn time off. Come on, lazy, move it, he shouted. That one got aimed at Adam, who didn't break pace. The other prisoners snickered, hoping Harris would ride him till he snapped. Adam kept digging, the light harsh and shadowed at once. Every day one more than he'd done.
Mm, Actually, I don't think this whole sentence is required because it just stresses that you know Adam is treated very badly. So I don't think this whole thing is needed. But just leave it for now. So let's uh
Shovels cut like noise through a hangover. The air thickened with too many men and not enough oxygen. Adam gripped his handle like a vice. Soul slips, he thought. Give me soul slips. This was a rich man's sentence, they said. A place for the weak-willed with deep pockets. Slip the warden enough slips, buy yourself a train ticket out. But it took money to make slips, so you worked off the debt, grinding your hands to skeletons while a bank account fattened on the outside. One good payday was the best you could hope for.
okay. Okay, I would like to listen to it again.
Shovels cut like noise through a hangover. The air thickened with too many men and not enough oxygen. Adam gripped his handle like a vice. Soul slips, he thought. Give me soul slips. This was a rich man's sentence, they said. A place for the weak-willed with deep pockets. Slip the warden enough slips. Buy yourself a train ticket out. But it took money to make slips, so you worked off the debt, grinding your hands to skeletons while a bank account fattened on the outside. One good payday was the best you could hope for.
Okay, it's just a big exposition of soul slips, which is the name of a currency I came up with. It's basically it's just it's just money, and then depending on the you can buy pretty much anything. For example, you can buy off your sentences, like you can reduce your sentence by buying them, and um okay, let's postpone this. Like I just thought I wanted to make it, yeah, like less expositioning, you know what I mean? Okay, okay, there's a lot that's a lot. So okay, so yeah, it's just I'm not a big fan of big exposition. So let's make let me make some notes for that.
His shovel struck a hard clump of clay and rang with the sharp edge of memory. He kept working, hoping to lose it. Then another hit. It knocked him out of rhythm and heaving. 6 years he'd made his cut and kicked back up the line. Stayed away from anything that needed too much thought. 6 years a workhorse. But the others looked at him like he was nothing. Adam heard the job come back from the guy next to him. One word of it brought down by another, the string too short to tie a decent knot. He was last to know that they'd named him a sucker, and even then, they got it wrong. One man's dangerous was another man's dead. Adam never wanted the fast way out.
Okay, actually, I did not really understand what he just said. So his shovel struck a hard clump of clay and rang with the sharp edge of memory. Okay, I kind of understand that. And he kept working, hoping to lose it. Okay. Then another hit. It knocked him out of rhythm and heaving. 6 years he'd be made his cut and kicked back of the line. Kick the back of the line, staying away from anything that needed too much thought. Okay, I don't know this part. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, my English is not perfect, so bear with me. What does this mean? It's so bland, but this is describing someone who has been following a certain pattern for 6 years, likely in a criminal organization activity context. Let me break it down. 6 years he made his cut. For 6 years, this person has taken their share or percentage of earnings, their cut from a sub operation, kicked the back up the line, sent money or resources to higher ranking people in the organization or hierarchy, staying away from anything that needed too much thought, deliberately kept to simple tasks that didn't require complex planning or decision making. Okay, he's basically repeating the same thing, like in the first, this here, like okay, I guess that is not needed too. So let's cut that part, cut that, and okay, one word of it. Oh no, staying away from anything that needed too much thought. 6 years a workhorse, but the others looked at him like he was nothing. Yeah, I mean, this might have happened, but I wanted to hide it for now. Like, yeah. Okay. A grizzled old hen spoke. Oh yeah, no, I
A grizzled old hand spoke to a man near him, thought they were whispering. Found dead Charlie took that job for Maroney. Ended up his name, he said, all casual and secretive like Adam couldn't hear. Adam wanted to say, "This lazy man's on Easy Street while you're in the morgue." He wanted to laugh. Instead, he paused and the wall looked back at him with cold, rocky eyes. This was the life he'd learned to remember, the safest one for a forgetful man to choose.
Again, this is just basically repeating the same thing, especially the second half. But I just want to take a good look at the first half. A grizzled old hand spoke to a man. A grizzled old hand spoke to a man near him. Thought they were whispering. Found dead Charlie took that job for Maroney. Found dead Charlie took that job for Maroney. Ended up his name. He said all casuals and secretive like Adam couldn't hear. Okay, I don't want to say this lazy man's on Easy Street while you are in the morgue. Nope, I don't need this. Yeah, like, I guess I just want to.
When Harris looked away, Adam let his focus drift. It didn't last long. He pushed at a few soft clumps, turned his mind over them like stones, seeing what lay underneath. He remembered the plan, everything a straight line until some grinning fool thought different. Adam couldn't put them together if he tried. He picked the tunnel, the same tunnel everyone else was dying to get out of. The hours were hard, but that's what paid best. He called his bet and stayed. Forget the cash. Forget the mobs. Forget getting killed. Thrust, pivot, heave. Even his best days were suspect. His muscles worked, his mind wandered, but he was alive.
Okay, I liked this second half. The hours were hard, but that's what paid the best. He called his bet and stayed. Forget the cash, forget the mobs, forget getting killed. Thrust, pivot, heave. Even his days were suspect. His muscles worked, his mind wandered, but again, this is just him repeating the same thing. You know, it's just different sentences. Okay, just try. Let's try AI. Let's
The dirt was darker here, soft and damp and clinging. They wouldn't be below ground much longer. It got wet toward the end. Every end. Water looking for ways to seep back into their lives. If this tunnel saw daylight, so would Adam. Harris knew he'd stay on it till the last shovel, so he looked elsewhere. It was true. Adam heard the mob work paid out like gangbusters, but he knew the math. Dead men didn't collect their slips. Dead men didn't see their plans through. Thrust, pivot, heave. It was mechanical how he labored. He could do it with half a mind. He already was. He was giving the grumbling men more reasons to dislike him, and he liked that. He worked past the echoes of his own resolve. He worked like he could dig a tunnel all the way to freedom. Thrust, pivot, heave. An outcast, an outlander, allergic to the dirt, but working every second, digging for his life.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just erase the heck of it. And then scene 2. Yeah, let's scan what happened, you know, as a whole, just without any judgment. Just, you know, Observe it.
Adam forgot how small it was. He opened the door and the cell practically swallowed him, offered him nothing but his own bulk in the cramped, uncaring space. Less room than a poor man's coffin, he thought, not for the first time. But here he was, back to familiar if unwelcome. For white walls and a bed the guards would stack him in like firewood if he didn't watch out. He sat down, and it squeaked beneath him like a rodent. From under the mattress, he pulled out the notebook. It looked worse every time.
Okay. Okay. I just shut up.
The outside felt bigger, brighter, like his blood had somewhere to run to. Here it sat in his veins, made them heavy, pressed him down like a weight he'd never lift. The book was worn, the cover frayed like an old man's hair. It got him this far. It would have to get him farther. His fingers shuffled the pages and sent motes of dust dancing, some as thick as the dirt he'd been shoveling all day. But he didn't care. They were his motes, his dust. He filled them with what was his, even if he never recalled a bit of it. He looked around at the rest. Not much, but more than the hole they stuck him in that first night. The bulb swung from a long cord, dipped like it was avoiding him. It stuttered and flickered. Or maybe that was just his eyes. Not much in the way of light, but what could he expect from a hole like this? It was cramped, but the claustrophobia kept him company. The walls kept it in, chalky white and etched with tallies, counting off the time like marks on a kid's growth chart. Little of anything else. The state-issued prison cell didn't come with room service. Adam flipped through the notebook, the messy scrawl of it making his brain twitch. It looked foreign to him now, more than he could wrap his mind around. Not the careful map it used to be. Too many corners for his thoughts to bump into. There was a whole world in there, one he couldn't keep track of anymore. Tasks, notes, reminders. They slipped through him like wind through cracked walls. His finger moved slowly down each page, muttering as he went, hoping that repetition could wrangle a bit of it, rope it tight enough to stay on. It used to be easy. He'd finish digging, and it would come right back, fill his head like breath into a set of tired lungs. Now, half of it might as well have been in Greek. It read like someone else's gibberish. Nothing he knew. But the only words worse than ones he couldn't remember were the ones he couldn't forget. He tossed it aside and leaned back on the mattress. The bed springs moaned under the weight of his unfinished thoughts. There was a note somewhere about the woman. Someone scribbled her name on one of those pages. Anna, Angie, whatever it was. Notebooks within notebooks and 1,000 names. Too many to hold on to. That was why he had the damn book in the first place. Kept things where he couldn't. They told him not to forget, and he never did, if remembering looked like writing it down. But he got tired of losing the book itself, like letting a kite fly loose, then crash to the ground, too tangled to unwind.
Okay. Okay, actually, let's stop here because otherwise, it would be too much for me to like figure it out. So where am I? Okay, I am here. Okay, so far what happened is he comes back to his room, more like a prison cell, and then it describes pretty much describing his room and also his note, a little bit of a note, and then why he is holding a note, and then a little bit of a past of the or history of the note, kind of. But I feel a bit too long for me. Just so let me just edit it. But I also think like even though this is saying scene two, but also yeah, although it said scene two, I feel um what is it? I wanted to happen. I wanted to be. I wanted to happen in the tunnel because, like, in the movie, do I have to change the location? Like, what if like why can't Sebastian just came all way down here if it's urgent? That's what I was thinking. So maybe what if he could totally just come here. So okay, how what could I do? Also open the door, the cell practically swallow him off of him, nothing but okay. Yeah, just delete this here than any other. And okay. Yeah, just yeah, I don't think we need to know about do we need to know about where he lives or how he lives in the no, let's cut it. Let's cut it. Alright, that he sat down as if he's been like notebook. Yep. Um okay. I totally forgot how I can control this stuff. Damn. This Sebastian. Yeah. Made him heavy, press him down like a weight. He did live. It's a mess. It's a mess, man. I think in a scene three, the Sebastian will come, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, yeah, but in fact, but it's I cannot deny that there are a couple of sentences that I really liked. So let's focus on that then. The outside felt heavier, brighter. His brow somewhat learned to hear sound. His vein, even with he was never recall it a bit of it. Okay. Mm, let's keep the description of the note, at least for now. And he looked at the rest, not much, but more than the hole they stuck him in the first night. The bulb, yeah, I don't need that. And it's from a hole like this. It was camped, but the claustrophobia kept him company. The walls kept in chunky white, etched with tiles, counted off the time like marks on the kid's growth chart. Little of anything else, the state issued prison cell didn't come with room service. Okay, yep. Okay, I like this part. The state issued prison cell didn't come with room service. I think I'm gonna make Sebastian say this? I don't know, maybe. Adam flipped through the notebook, the messy scroll making his brain twitch. It looked foreign to him now, more than he could wrap his mind around. Not the careful map he used to be. Too many corners for his thoughts to bump into. There was a whole world in there. Um, One he couldn't keep track of anymore. Task notes, reminders, they slipped through him like wind through cracked walls. His fingers moved slowly down the page, muttering as he went, hoping the repetition could wrangle a bit of it. Rope it tight enough to stay on. Okay, this whole sentence is, I think I need it. I think it captures the, at least my experience, like, trying to the remember what I am supposed to do, but it's just too much overwhelming. And it used to be easy. He'd finish digging and he would come right back, fill his hair like breath into a set of tired lung. Now half of it might as well have been in Greek. I don't understand this. And then it read like someone else's gibberish, nothing he knew. But the only words worse than ones he could remember were the one he couldn't forget. Okay, like, yeah, I like this part actually. And he tossed it aside and then leaned back on the mattress. The bed springs moaned like, yeah, I don't need this part. It really looked like someone else's gibberish. Nothing he knew, but the only words worse than ones he couldn't remember were the one he couldn't forget. But the only words worse than one he couldn't remember were the one he couldn't forget. But the only words. Okay, I'm a bit confused with this sentence. Um, can you make this sentence more easy to understand? Claude is taking his time. In the past, writing was effortless for him. After preparing himself, inspiration would flow naturally like breathing. Now much of his world work seems foreign, incomprehensible, like someone else wrote in a language he doesn't understand. The most painful part isn't what he's forgotten, but the memories and words that still haunt him and won't go away. Okay, I kind of understand it. In the past, writing was effortless for him. After preparing himself, inspiration would flow naturally like breathing. Now, much of his old work seemed foreign and incomprehensible, like someone else wrote it in a language he doesn't understand. The most painful part isn't what he's forgotten, but the memories and words that still haunts him and won't go away. Hmm. I don't need that. I don't know. Let's postpone it. And there was a note somewhere about the woman. Someone scribbled her name on one of those pages. Annie, Angie, whatever it takes. Notebook within notebooks, and thousands names, too many to hold on to. That was why he had the damn book in the first place. He kept things where he couldn't. They told him not to forget, and he never did. If remembering looked like writing it down, but he got tired of losing the book itself, like letting a kite fly loose, then crashes to the ground to tangle to the wind. Yeah, I like this expression. So let's delete this and okay. Actually, I'm curious what's gonna happen the rest of the. I think it's just explaining what's inside of the book. So, and then scene three is basically talking with Sebastian, but yeah, just checking. Hmm. So the situation of Sebastian coming, I was thinking maybe Adam is being bullied, and then Sebastian comes, and then as if he saved Adam, but Sebastian is actually bringing him the worst job. That's what I was thinking, but bullying is a bit too cliche for me. So, what if there was an accident and then Adam got kind of buried and he needed some help, but he needed some help and Sebastian comes? Maybe? I okay, let's just make a note and then let's think about it next time. So there is an accident and Adam got buried, and Sebastian comes to offer the job while Adam got picked on. Little cliche for me, yeah. But yeah, let's think. I think as an option. So yeah, yeah. Let's stop it today for now. And next time I will talk. I will keep on working. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sort out this whole scene. It's a long scene. Yeah. Okay. So let's just make a little record here. I mean, you know, I was just gonna write it later, and then for now, I'm just gonna. I have an announcement to make. I actually made a Discord group, and then it's totally free for you to join, and then there, you can, um, you know, publish or how do you say express your work with AI to share someone without any judgment. So and also preferably it's about ADHD, and so I just want to make a friend, and then I just want to interact with people who might enjoy my work. So if you are interested, I will write the put the link in the description to for the community. So yeah, if you're curious about what I do, yeah, let's see you there and in chat. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next section.